me. I am Liam Jarrett on the road with the Wake movement. Let us go. I use the name Thomas Wake for Wake movement. This was before woke was a thing, which got totally co-opted. But what I do want to say is that, and Thomas means twin. We're in the season of Gemini right now, which is like put on a mask. And so Liam Jarrett is what I'm doing over at the Aquarian TV, and then Wake movement. There's my alias. It's blown. But Liam Jarrett's my middle name. My last name I am keeping off of social media because of what I see happening to us. My predictions for the year 2100. More censorship. Less. I don't want to be dystopic and paint a dystopia. Very Orwellian, 1984. Where the pigs on the farm and the animals on the farm, Animal Farm, is bring a reality about how we are. I say, look to China. China. I miss Trump and how he says China. One of the few things I miss about him. Oh, well, compared to Biden, geez. Our presidents are selected for us. We don't elect. You get a choice between left or right, stuck in this that echo chamber, the tunnel, while the ship goes in the direction that is pointed. Now, China they have a video camera for every 2 people in the country. They give you a social credit score. We're never going to go to that, to communism. The right calls the left commies. Well, what's a socialistic, communistic type thing? A check for everybody during when they shut everything down. That was done under Trump on the right. When the left got in, what? We didn't get any money when Biden came in. What we did get is a war, and we got people on the left freaking more war hawkish than Henry Kissinger himself. Guy who comes up with coups, violent coups that killed the president of Chile. So predictions. It's you could look to the scriptures because that's the script that they're trying to play out, which will be a Gog and Magog war, us versus Russia. And China. And then between Russia and China, Israel takes over because they have Russia already, as they have Ukraine as well. There's a big population of people who went from Ukraine to Israel. That is who America has been fighting wars for since War on Terror back to World Wars. That the result of them created this apartheid state that has America by the cojones. They had Monica Lewinsky was a agent for Israel, had tapes of Lewinsky with President Clinton on phone conversations to be used as blackmail. The very honeypot that was the Jeffrey Epstein that is, and Les Wexner, and that whole Bronfman squad goes to Ghislaine Maxwell, goes to Robert Maxwell, her father, an agent for the foresaid country. So, the prophecy is that the world will be ruled from Jerusalem. Salem means the way. Yeru of Egypt, the god, Horus. The way of the sun. Now, I would like to say that we will be going into rear end of somebody else's car if I don't pay attention. No, there was a traffic buildup where usually you wouldn't expect one to be. But we are moving on. So I'm going to paint a dystopic version first, and then I'll do a more hopeful one after that. But here's what the script is. That after the Gog and Magog war, that the Moshiach, the Messiah of Israel, is a Jewish nation. Therefore, they have a religion. Are we a Christian nation? No. Was the world better when it was a Christian empire? No. They didn't want us to read or freaking write. The Dark Ages are called such for a reason. It was Christians, zealots, who ultimately burnt down that Library of Alexandria, taking away wisdom teachings, and then used to, with their narrative, weave through it and wrapped around it so that they have us thinking that a holy war needs to happen or a crusade because of some piece of land is more important than others. Not my homeland isn't in Mesopotamia. So we got theologically conquered. Not just the Europeans, the freaking Native Americans, the Africans, the South Americans. Their beautiful goddess worship stays alive in the character of the Virgin of Guadalupe. Because they had to hide their stuff, their ancestral traditions, because they get burned at the stake if they didn't. Christianity and the witch trials, harkening back to some time that these trad Catholics have. But let me just not totally trash Christianity. It does offer such things as other religions: community building, a shared purpose, focused energy. To have a voice, the community, dare I say, even a role to play in the conscious evolution of humanity. So those who are not part of God's chosen will have to live under the Noahide laws. They say they're just like the Ten Commandments. The number one Noahide law is you will not have idols. That means, which merely means that you will worship our God and abandon your sacred freaking traditions of your ancestors. You might have multiple ones. Not coming together is so great and beautiful. But then when you realize there's a religious narrative, an ideology, a theology, a worldview that includes one race not mixed with others. And if you do mix that chosen race, your family will sit Shiva, which ironically is a totally Hindu Indian name for the goddess of like endings. She ends the season. We're in the Kali Yuga, the age of Pisces, which is why? Because it's the end of the zodiac, the 12th sign. So those who are not of this pure blood have to worship the God of Israel, and then right in the back door of that is and his chosen people as him. Oh, and don't eat like a leg off of a living being is one of them too. And they say, oh, it's about treating animals right. Yeah, look at the swinging of the chickens. That's a scary thing. Oh, damn, Danny. Person who I was hoping to see isn't there. Yeah, so there's. But is there something to learn from that? Yeah, if I believe this is kind of a personal thing, but it makes sense rationally, objectively perhaps, is that are going to eat meat. To be honest, if you're really trying to get into that spiritual life, maybe a vegetarian diet might be good. Maybe just occasionally dabble in that world. I just eat whatever I could get. living plate by plate. If you're trying to live healthy, it's expensive as shit. I saw a bowl of fruit salad for $15, or a McDonald's burger for $1. May or may not purposely. I saw something recently that skin cancer is a new phenomena. I sure did hear that. I got distracted. So Gemini season, Gemini could do multiple things at once. Yeah. Gemini season is the Lover's card in the Tarot, which is two. It's a choice. It's two. Gemini season is a season of twos. It's doubles. It is could be duplicity. Geminis are known for having very distinct, separate, dual personalities, or even lifestyles. A saint on the street, a freak in the sheets. Who's very much like that? Virgo. Thought they'd be the biggest freaks. They call them Virgos. Virgo. Oh, Veer, life. They are Earth sign. Ruled by Mercury, who is a magician. Like, Virgos are often herbalists. Merlin is a very Virgoan archetype mixed with Mercury. Mercury is the magician in the tarot deck. Yeah, so the lovers, though, because we have the first one is Aries, which is the Emperor, masculine. This second card in the tarot, the feminine, the High Priestess. First, the Sun. Second, the Moon. Even. And third, Gemini is the twins. So we want to. It's also Mercury the messenger, and in the middle is either a pole or a rod or a sword, and up that is two twin serpents, twin stars, Nephthys and Isis, which is Procyon and Major Cana, Sirius in the night sky. The two twins, one's darker than the other, who blink, who follow Osiris's tomb or dead body down the river, down the Eridanus, the Jordan River, as the two Marys weeping at the tomb of Jesus, or the crucifixion. Why? Because they blink. These two stars are active and they blink like they're crying. Mary, Isis, the mother of Horus, mother of Jesus, and then the other Mary being Mary Magdalene, who was Nephthys, the twin of Isis, the lady of night, as opposed to the brighter one, Isis. So um, the lady of the night is the lady of the temple, is the sacred prostitute, and so that's how we have Mary Magdalene, the wife, the sacred prostitute of the temple, of the initiate, together with his mother, Isis. Sirius, our star, comes from Sirius. I believe that's the mother to our sun on a spiritual level, together with Earth and Venus. And then we're leaving that Cancer constellation, and the sun's heading out up the mountain to Capricorn. We're traveling on the Milky Way, yo. Oh, that's why they had this ship in the sky called Navis, which I believe is the Ark of the Covenant story. All right, so ideally, as we go further into the age of Aquarius, this secret hidden knowledge will come out thanks to that very Aquarian phenomena, namely the advent of the internet and our ability to use technology to communicate to the masses. The masses are Aquarian. Hopefully, we don't have the masses cold. Hopefully, we have the masses uh, evolving consciously. Now, let us use our energy and focus into what a world might look like that is privy to the sacred mysteries of reality, the truth. Let us hope and let us strive ourselves to be in line with the truth. Um, Let us be syncretized as we search for truth, discerning well what is true and what is not. Not being too hard headed and not open to seeing things new, and also not being too gullible. What do we do with such things as faith now that we have knowledge? We use that energy to have faith in ourselves and humanity so that we're putting out positive vibes out into the world, because hopefully then that's what will manifest. The law of attraction works out in this world. The law of attraction isn't some new age thing, it's very much a hermetic principle. But for every action, there's a like consequence. All right. So what can we do in our own lives to not enter into uh, slavery further? Would that be in our own personal lives with our addictions, our attachments, our escapism? Right now, it's a real call to be courageous and brave and a trailblazer. We have Jupiter and Mars at home in Aries of the god of war. In this earthly realm, there seems to be a freaking war between the upper versus the lower classes. And they try to divide us wherever they can over racial stuff, gender issues, religion, politics, while they further push into their foot on our necks. The easiest way to have somebody in slavery is to not even let them know they're in it. That's like only being able to speak a certain language and not being able to have a thought, a certain thought, because of the box that the construct of language puts us in. That's crazy. We don't know what we don't know. Wake movement. My double X is it's a sex symbol, really. What you want to do, you want to match up blue and red to have a beautiful purple, which is why they put up symbolism that is blue, blocked out, separated by the white before it gets to the red. Is that good or bad? I don't know. There is something beautiful about the other, which is the twins. Gemini teaches us that. That's why it's the lover, because you can't have a lover if there's not another. Two, it takes to tango. But the world of two is in the third sign. Two is associated with the moon. And then the number Mercury, the ruler of Gemini, his number is 5. So we have one's the sun, two's the moon. That's why two is like the moon is in the underneath the feet of the priestess of the Tarot deck, the number 2 card. The third card of the Tarot deck, oh my goodness, is Venus, the Empress. But she is our home in the second sign, which is Taurus. There's so many levels to this. But numbers is really the most mystical of them all. Because it has to do with order and using our will to make order in this world is really what is like our God power. And so that's why they're all about bending our will to manufacturing their new world order through deceit. Aquarius could fix complex problems and bring them together into one cohesive idea. Saturn, the ruler of Aquarius. Aquarius is by Saturn, and it is the masses, and it is fixed air. It is order out of the chaos. The chaos would be Pisces. It's mutable, moving, fluctuating, water, the abyss, where everything disintegrates except for that divine spark, and it's renewed in Aries season. And in Aquarius season, 11th house, the twins 1-1, the older twins, the man became one, the twins grown up, balanced out, expressing the mind of God, Uranus, breaking out of the matrix of Saturn, of Earth. forward thinking as Aquarius. So it's the rewards also from the 10th house, which is like your career. So that's why perhaps there's a special dispensation of grace awarded to us in this time as we transfer over into Aquarius out of Pisces. An overflowing of all the merit that our ancestors before us gained through virtuous living, intentions, energy filled with virtuosity and beneficence. Let us be a beneficiary of such awesome shit as we move forward, fully present in the now. Love you.